If you're not okay with Jake, like, then don't expect to see your grandkids. Which I was like, I'm gonna be you.
Cool. That's how we'll start the episode. So hi, everybody. We're back for another episode of JK But Gay. And this week we're talking about families but gay. This is going to be a little bit more lighthearted, although, you know, we each have our own experiences about our family.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
For me, I thought I'd just start and go ahead and dive in. But, you know, we talked a little bit last week about how I came out to my parents, but I also thought my coming out story to my brothers, I have two brothers, I'm the youngest of three boys, was also pretty cool because I actually came out to my sister-in-law first. She was my first person that I came out to in my family because I was really close to her. But at the time, she's the person that I felt most comfortable with. And so I came out to her. I remember I texted her in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m.
Were you having like a moment?
You know,
like,
you just have those moments of like,
you're like,
everybody hates me because I'm gay. Everybody's going to hate me because I'm gay. And I just told her immediately, and she was awake. I don't know what. She's both of my sisters-in-law are phenomenal mothers, and I think she just had that mom instinct and kind of just like was really great about it. But no, I came out to my brother too, her husband, my oldest brother. I came out to him after that because she was like, I'm not going to say anything, but that's my husband.
Right.
And
you have 2 days.
Right. You got
48 hours.
Right. I'm not going to say anything. And she was good about protecting me. But now that I'm married, I completely understand what she was doing. Like, don't make me lie to this man.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to do it on your own time. But because you told me, the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And my brother was great about it. My oldest brother, were 12 years apart. And so I think that we weren't always close growing up, but because we had nothing in common. We were 12 years apart.
That's a generation.
Yeah, like I mean, his mom, my mom, our mom, our mom was 19 when she had him, and she was.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
actually,
she was 31 when she had me. So can you imagine the type of mother person you are, and that time difference? Like we were raised very differently, even though we were both raised. We both had the same mom. We both had the same dad. We were just raised by different people because our parents were different.
Yeah.
And so my brother and I were never really close, but after that we became really close because my brother went into like ultimate defense mode. Like my brother was like, I know how people are and I know how they're going to treat you. And he like was the ultimate protector. And I'll never forget that because he was just so protective in a time where it was hard. I'll never forget my parents during that time. I talked about it where my parents were like not okay with my sexuality, and we were all going to hang out at Easter, and my boyfriend had come down to hang out with us, and my mom and dad were like, "We're not going to go if he's going," and my brother was like, "Well, if that's how you feel about it, you're not welcome." And I don't know if
was it his house?
It was his house.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And I don't know if I've ever told my brother this, but I think about that all the time because when you're in your darkest moment and you have your family there that's protecting you, when I had my brother there protecting you, you feel like you can fucking do anything. Like I felt invincible after that. And I know so many people who don't have that story and they go back to those moments and they feel just so low. I'm so grateful that I don't have to feel that because my brother was just such a warrior for me. He was like super protective, and even with like I think he's told you this story, right? Where like he defends like just gays in general, and then he's like, my brother's gay, you can't say that. And I'm like, you don't have to fight everybody. Like I call people faggots too. Like it's okay.
We're in the community. We can say it.
Right. It's okay. But no.
We can joke.
But no, my brother's, and then my other brother, I came out to him shortly after that, but he and I are closer in age, and we also talk much more often. So he and I, it was just like, I told him and it was like, all right, next topic. And it wasn't like, let's move on from the topic. It was just like, whatever you're on, I'm with it. Yeah. And so I'm really grateful that both of my brothers have like really, really stepped in and been really gracious with me and protective and been amazing big brothers to me overall.
That's amazing. And I think I have a very similar experience specifically. So I have one brother who is older. Yeah. It's just us two, but we're only 3 years apart. So like there was also a time when we were in high school together, and I will I will never forget. There were times where I think he also knew early on about me.
How?
I don't know. Maybe he saw one of my performances in my room.
Sense.
I think he saw one of my performances in my room, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, but I remember. I can remember multiple times where like I wasn't even in middle school and he was in high school.
Yeah.
And like, bro, you can't help me like in middle school. But he was very the protective type of me.
Yeah.
And he would always be like, is anyone bullying on you? Like, who is it? Right. Like if it was the case, but like,
right.
I really didn't, we were close, but not that close for me to be like, it's this person.
Right.
This is what they're doing. I was just kind of like, I'm good.
I feel like you wouldn't say that anyway.
I'm fine. Like,
yeah.
Just my personality.
Right. Your personality would.
Oh yeah. I'm so passive.
We get it. For the 4th episode in a row, we get it.
I just can't help it.
In case you're wondering.
No, but yeah, he was always protective. And then like, even in high school, I was a freshman and he was a senior.
Yeah.
And he was very much that brother bear type of person, like making sure I was okay. When he could, of course, we weren't always together. And he was like the sports person or the sports jock. And I was like the band nerd. Like that was just how I was. But I mean, I was on the drum line. So we'll take that as how it is.
I guess. You're also really athletic. You probably just didn't want to do it, right?
Yeah, I was lazy I was so lazy. I'm better now.
You're Sporty Spice.
I'm a Sporty Spice. Yes, even though I want to be Baby Spice, but I'm a little sporty.
Así con la patita.
Let me go KMS.
Not the direction we were planning on taking the episode.
Not at all, but hey, it is what it is. This is how we are in real life, y'all.
Like, we can't keep
go
a conversation.
In and out.
Yeah, in and out of conversations.
Yeah, but and then we just get back up right on top.
Yeah.
No, but like even when I came out to him, I will never forget. I was taking him to a party. I had already came out to my parents. I still hadn't come out to him, but he was also in college station at school, and so like. We just weren't together that often. Yeah. And we were both in town at one point. I think it was like winter break maybe, or Thanksgiving, whichever break it was. But I had told my parents, and then, my whole mom thing was happening. And then I remember telling him in the car while I was taking him to a party. And then he was like, well, mom is like, she's like the real one. Or like, she's going to give you how the real world is going to be. And I kind of was like taken aback because I was like, I don't know what this means. Like, are you not okay with it either? Like, what is happening? But similarly,
it's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing.
No,
it's
but like
nervous enough.
No, but I think also because I felt awkward because I was like, okay, hold on. Like, where are you? Because I wasn't expecting that from my brother. Right. Like he was more my age, so he could understand a little bit more about the world and like being around the same age. But it wasn't in a bad way. I think he was just like kind of helping me get through the moment of like what was happening with my mom, which I can appreciate now. But in the moment I was like really confused because I was like, I don't know what that means. Go to your party and drink. Yeah. Like be gone. But similar to your older brother, he did something very similar. He was like, I remember him telling me at one point, or maybe it was my sister-in-law actually. I forgot who told me, but like at one point they were like, oh, your brother told your mom, like, if you're not okay with Jake, like, then don't expect to see your grandkids. Which I was like, exactly.
That's pretty much what my brother said too.
Right.
He said, don't come to the house. Not that you can't see the kids, but
yeah, no,
this is where they live.
Yeah. But that's what I was told. So I was like, again, I think it makes you like, it feels so good. Yeah. In a weird way.
In a weird way, right? You feel like someone is on my side.
Yes.
You don't want your family to fight either.
Exactly. Like I want my mom to be there. I want my mom to have the best relationship with her grandkids. But I was like, I mean, it feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of just grandkids in general, that's actually something I'm super grateful of is the way that my brother and sister-in-law were with my nieces, because my nieces were still younger when I came out, and they were it wasn't like, oh, like let's figure out a way to talk to them about it. They sat them down and was like, this is your uncle. This is what, he's gay. We love him. And this is how we're going to move with things forward. And so when you set a standard like that, it's like not an issue now. It's like not even an issue. They're like, okay. And then my other brother, his kids were still younger, but now that they're older, they're like, okay, like, cool. Here's my Theo and his husband, my other Theo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know if my brother and sister-in-law have had that like a deep conversation. Yeah. It was kind of just like, here's Jake and here's Roger. Right. And then just like, because like my nephews don't call me Theo. Like they call me Jake. I don't know. I was like, that's a very
You are white.
I mean, Jake.
They don't call you Theo at all?
No. But I will never forget one time.
They're like, what does that mean?
They're like, Theo, okay? No. Oh my God.
Theo gay?
Right. No, but one time the little one, he was at my house and he was playing video games or whatever. And I was playing with him. And then his friend called, or no, he was talking to his friend online or whatever on the game. And then his friend was asking, I guess he was asking him like, oh, who are you with? And I will never forget because he turns to me. He was like, wait, can I call you my uncle? And I'm like, yeah.
What do you think I am?
That is what I am.
Are gays allowed to be uncles?
Right. I don't know. I think just because like I really don't. Now that I think more about it, I'm like, I don't really know why they don't call me.
Do they call somebody Theo?
Like they'll call like
your great like they're great Theos.
Correct. Okay. Like my Theos and Theas, they will call Theo Thea or like or Uncle Joe or like whomever.
So they all call you Jake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody has a different name for me. Like my oldest nieces call me Theo Kinney, the oldest ones, and then my middle brother's kids, they all call me Theo Boo.
Oh, did you know? Is it because I did know Theo Boo?
Theo Boo.
Why actually though?
Because Mariah, when she used to call me my middle niece, I used to be like, "Hey Boo," when she would FaceTime me, and so she started calling me Theo Boo, and so all the rest of them call me Theo Boo too.
That is so cute.
I know.
I love that.
I know.
Yeah, mine just call me Jake.
Wow.
Yeah, but like, I don't think my brother nor sister-in-law ever really like sat them down and was like, "This is how it is." I think there's value in that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. But I also like think like they've been pretty fine.
Yeah. Both of my brothers were intentional about it. But I think it was the age of my nieces were, because I think my nieces were probably preteen. So they were entering that age where it's okay to have that conversation. Yes. And both my brother and my sister-in-law were intentional of like, we have to say that now, right? So that they can grow up and understand that this is just life, right? This is who they are. It is. Yeah, this is who they are. So I think that's what it was. But as far as I was going to say something about the Theo part. My oldest brother, when they were younger, if they didn't call me Theo, he would have an issue with it. Like it was like a respect thing. Like my brother, my brother was like, you call them Theo, like it's a sign of respect.
But I think that's a culture thing. Yeah, like because like even for me, like I call my Theos and Theas Theo and Thea. Right. Like I don't think I've ever called them like by their name. I think that would be weird to me. Same. But like being called Jake by my nephews, I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm like, maybe they think I'm their friend.
Hey, Jake. You know what it is? They probably heard their dad, and they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna call whatever my dad has called him.
Yeah. Well, my brother calls me like bro or faggot. I would hit him. No, I wouldn't hit him. Stop. Stop calling me that. But yeah, no, I think, but like even now, we all have. I don't know if you've ever had this with your nieces and nephews, but like we have like the most random conversations also as it relates to sometimes about like sexuality too.
Yeah, there's such an age difference, I think, from mine. That's why we don't. My oldest nieces I do, but my oldest nieces I think are 24 and 21, and so while they were growing up, we would. But now, and my younger nieces and nephew, not really. But what do you mean by?
So like, for example, because one of my nephews, one time he saw a picture of like Roger and I, and they were, I want to say he was maybe like 4 or 5 at this point. But he saw a picture of Roger and I, and he was like, oh, y'all are married? I was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, do y'all kiss? And I was like, yeah. Like that's what married people do. And he was like, ew. And I was like, me getting all like super defensive. I'm like, we about to go down this road real quick. But then I was like, your mom and dad kiss? And he goes, that's gross also. And then at that point I was like, okay, you're fine. But the way I was about
in his mind,
he was like, let me say this before I get hit.
Before we jump back in, do us a quick favor. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button, whether you're watching or listening. It might seem small, but every like and subscription helps us get this show in front of more people and keeps us going week after week. We can't grow without you, so thank you for the support. But we're back. But now I want to talk a little bit more about our extended family because we're actually really close to our extended families.
Yeah.
Because our extended families are, I even felt weird saying extended family because I was raised with my first cousins as if they were like my siblings.
Right.
And so
that's family.
Yeah. For when I came out, it was really interesting because some of them found out at different times. None of them I never really came out to because I was off like in DC. Mm-hmm. And so it was like on social media. And so I had a few cousins that would like say some things, but they would never say it to my face. It was like, but for the most part, everybody was really great about it. Like about my family. My aunts too. My mom is one of six sisters. And I was like, what does that make? She has 5 sisters. She's one of 6.
Yeah.
My mom is one of 6 sisters and they have been fine with it to my face. As far as I know, they're fine. But yeah, it's been, and my first cousins have all been sort of fantastic with it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I'm in a place now where I also, when I came out, I was at a place where I didn't give a shit. So even if they weren't okay, I was like, all right, we're fine.
I'm gonna do me. Yeah. No. And me too. Like similar to you, like with my family, like my tias, cousins, all of that. Like we're really close, but it's interesting because also with my dad's side, I'm really, really close. And then my mom's side, we're close, but like there's a difference.
That's the opposite for me.
Really? So you're really close with your mom's side?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, like we're all very close.
Yeah.
And like my cousins know each other like on both sides.
Yeah.
And that's also me with like my cousins also.
Yeah.
I think we just like, that's my cousin. Like
yeah.
we just, that's who they are to me at that point.
We were married into the families too. So my mom has a sister that's married to one of my dad's brothers. And so the families are like super.
I forgot about that.
I have a cousin.
Wild.
I have a cousin who his mom and my mom are sisters and his dad and my dad are brothers. And so like, if you look at our like, our ancestry, it says like we're half siblings because the DNA is that close.
Yes.
It's really cool. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's my compadre. I have his daughter is my goddaughter, but yeah.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. So I had family like that I was always really close to that were all fantastic when I came out and we're good. But then there was always like that whisper, there's always that one family member, right?
Yeah.
Like I had a family member call my aunt who I was really close to that passed, called her and was like, oh, look, like the perfect one that you like have put on a pedestal. He's not so perfect after all. And my aunt was like, what do you mean?
Girl, he's more perfect.
Right.
He's better.
Right. Now it's just glitter.
Right. Glitter. Some sugar in the tank.
Yeah, but there's always that one, right? And there's always, I have one. There were family members that came out before me and I got a better reaction. And I had family members tell me like, I was upset at the reaction that you got because it wasn't that easy for me. And I was like, what do you expect? What do you expect to? They were lesbians.
Okay.
And so I was like, because there is a difference.
Very vast.
There is a difference, but
huge.
But they were like, they were upset that everybody was okay with me, and that they weren't okay when they came out. And I was like, what do you want? Do you want me to go through the same things that you went through? I'm confused on what that's like. Like that. Yeah. That's really weird. But okay.
Like you're my cousin. You should want the best. We should want the best for each other, right?
Yeah. But there's always family members that have that. But like I said, they never said it to my face. No, that was my mom's family. My dad's family, I don't think anybody said anything anyway. But my dad doesn't play that shit either. Like if
he's like,
my dad's
I'm gonna
like,
shut the shit down. Real quick.
He's just not gonna deal with it.
Mm-mm. Yeah. And that was similar. Like even for my cousin, going back to since you rudely interrupted me. No, I'm just kidding. No, but with I think there was only like 2 cousins, and they were like my main, like those are the ones that I would play Barbies with, I grew up with, like we sing Selena together. Like those 2, I remember coming out to them, like directly.
They needed their own coming out.
Yeah, like I came out to them. I remember I was like Chris Madrid's,
not Chris Madrid's,
right? Big bag.
The cheese is overflowing. You're like,
right? I'm lactose intolerant too, but I'm gonna eat this cheese anyways. Literally me.
They're like, how are you gay and lactose intolerant?
Yeah, choose a fucking battle, bitch.
I'm also really passive.
5 episodes in a row, y'all. But yeah, everybody else, I was just like, this is who I am. And like, I would bring my boyfriend around at the time. And then, yeah, I never really like came out to them. It was just like, yes, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah.
But also, I do have a gay,
a gay individual in my family.
I was gonna say gay individual, a gay cousin.
Yeah.
She's a lesbian. And I think there is a difference.
What is it?
I think the culture.
It's machismo.
Yeah, the machismo culture. Like, oh, you're the guy though. Like, you have to be the certain way. You have to be the man in the house. I'm like,
right.
I still am.
Yeah, and then the girl comes out and they're like, another man, let's go. Yeah, it's different. It's different. Not that they don't experience the same things that we experience, or like the similar struggles, but for the most part, it's not like their womanhood isn't taken away in the same way that our manhood in their eyes is taken away.
Right. I'm like, I'm still a man.
Right.
But whatever.
Look at zoom in on the way you're sitting. I'm still a man.
I'm still a man. Maybe just a woman.
I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
Yes. But yeah. Come on, Brittany.
Yeah.
I forgot. But yeah. I also had a family member, and it
say their name. No, I'm kidding.
Like, oh shit, we're starting. Where's our episode or season 1's going hard?
Right. Someone's gonna send it the clip on Facebook.
Right. Like, it's gonna be in the family group chat.
Right.
Like, who is this?
Yeah.
No, but like, everyone has always respected me, and very similar to you. And I feel like this is the Latin culture that that we're experiencing, of like, no one has ever told me to my face, but I
but the chisme was there.
Right. Like, we're a Latino family. Like,
right.
We chismosos to the end. Like,
right.
And we also like, I feel like I know. I'm like, I know who I can go to if I want to stir the pot.
Oh.
Besides my husband. But
that's who I go to. If I want the world to know, I go to your husband. I'm like, I want to tell you something.
Don't tell
anyone. And he's like finishing the text to you as it's happening.
Literally, it's like that meme. It's like when someone's like running, it's like, the moment I know I'm not supposed to tell you, but you're the person I'm coming to. And it's like that little girl. Yes, the little girl. And I'm like, that is Roger.
Yeah.
To the T.
Families are such chismosos though.
Oh, also. Yeah. Probably in a lot of cultures, but like, for sure mine, I'm like.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
You can chisme about me.
Yeah.
Just don't be disrespectful.
Right.
Because I'm gonna check you.
Right.
I'm gonna check
scared of you.
No, I don't know if they're scared of me. They just know, like, I have cousins that will like say things on Facebook. I have like a few homophobic cousins that will say things on Facebook, and and I see them in person, and I'm like, I literally will be like, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Or like, even back in the day when I would argue with them on Facebook, I would say like, yeah, but I know when I come around, you won't say anything.
Call them out.
Look around, everybody. On mute. That's exactly what it is when I come around. I'm like,
Since you got your college degree.
Since you got your Facebook degree.
And you know every
fucking thing.
Yeah. Facebook, I swear, they like, what? There's a term for it. I feel like, when they're like behind the screen. They're
keyboard gangster.
Is that what it is?
That's what I call it.
Oh, that's my new. I love that.
Yeah, family.
I never heard that actually.
Yeah, keyboard gangster.
That's what they are.
Yeah, they get behind the keyboard and and then I call them and I'm like,
so what's this?
The message you received has been the voicemail box. The number you could has been disconnected. I'm like, get off of Facebook if your phone is disconnected.
Right, not on Cricket.
Right, don't call me like that. And then like I saw a meme recently that was like, if you're gonna talk about me, make sure your baby daddy isn't in jail and you have all your teeth, because I will get mean. That's me. If you're gonna talk about, be ready. Everybody, because everybody can get these verbal hands, like. But yeah, damn. So my family's like that with they weren't like that necessarily with my coming out, but they reserve it. I had another moment where I was fighting with a cousin and arguing about a cousin, and then they made a comment of like, you can shove it where the sun doesn't shine because I know that's where you like it, and I was like. Oh, you bitches have been dying to say that.
Right.
You've been dying to say that. You were waiting, and then I saw them in person. I'll never forget. It was and my brother was like, "Why are you being like that with them?" I was like, "Because they had a lot to say. What are you gonna say now?" And she got like really embarrassed. But
damn,
and she gonna watch this too, and she gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. And then look around, everybody on mute. No, but I was like, I'm fine. You can talk shit about me, but keep respectful. That same energy when I see you.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah.
And be respectful.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah. Definitely be respectful.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think for me also, now that thinking about it, I was like, I could tell some of the family members because of like who was at my wedding too.
Oh.
But
some didn't go.
And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Did you invite everybody?
I did. I mean, I'm still really close to every single person on both sides of my family.
Yeah.
Even despite whatever may have happened or like whatever they may have thought, like to this day, like I don't know
what still think
they. Well, to my face.
Watch your mouth.
But they really are, and like I love all of my entire family to death, and it's just an interesting dynamic sometimes, but we get through it. We live in.
Yeah, we're here.
We thrive in. Speaking of extended family,
yeah,
I've been recently thinking, and I don't know if you're at this place, but like I've kind of started to think again about my own family and like
creating your own family.
Creating my own family, yeah, okay. And what that looks like, how to do it, all of that good stuff. But like also like the big question is like, do I? Like, is that something that I want to do? And I know. For me and Roger, like we have gone through the fostering system. Like we fostered some children. Sorry, that sounded really weird. Yeah, I know. I heard it.
You're like, I love my family, but I was in the foster care system.
I was not in the foster care system. I know how they came out.
Yeah,
but we fostered some children at one point, and the children were
how many?
3. Literally, I went to work. I got a call at like 12. And then I went home.
How long was really quick. Yeah. How long was the process of when you decided y'all wanted to foster and then like, here are these kids in your house?
3 or 4 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Were y'all ready?
No.
I mean, are you ever ready, but still.
True. Like even for pregnant individuals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you're never ready. But even then, like I remember I think we started maybe it was a little bit longer, like 5 or 6. Cause I want to say we started the process maybe in August.
Wow.
And then we.
Right before I met you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I met you in December of 2020.
Like exactly a year. So we started in August of 2019 and then we finished the thing. We actually, I feel like we did the paperwork and all of the signing up and all that. Cause it's a long process. Like you got to do a lot of trainings and like you got to get your CPR and all that stuff. Like even the people that are going to be there, like for my parents and then Roger's parents had to get CPR training. So like in order to babysit for us and everything, like they had to go through this process also. They had to get background checks also. Like it was intense. And so it took
How do they do all that background and it's still terrible? Our foster care system in the state.
I have no idea. I think they do they do a fairly well job in the process of signing up.
Right.
For the most part.
But there's still preferences, right? Like you don't, family still gets preference.
Correct. Yes. And that's actually like what happened for us too.
Which some of those cycles are the reason why they're in the foster care system in the first place.
And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But the system itself is like completely broken, completely messed up. And that was actually the downfall for like both Roger and I, where we were like, we took care of, we went to work. By noon, I got a phone call. They were like, okay, we have 3 brothers. They sold me on like one of them's 8, like he can help you with the younger 2. And it was like 3 and 6 months. And I was like, huh.
Now looking back, you see how that's a red flag? An 8-year-old can help you raise a kid?
Yeah. Huge red flag. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But by 4 p.m. that day, they were in our house. And it's like interesting and it's kind of weird. Like you go from waking up as a 2-person household and now you're 5 people and you're like, oh damn, I gotta feed these people. Like what? Yeah. And so we took care of them for a couple of months and then they went back to family. But during that time, it was so stressful. The state didn't know what they were doing. They didn't even know about the kids' like medical history. And I'm like, why are you giving them to me if you don't know what's going on? Like,
right.
It wasn't, thankfully, like I work in healthcare. So like I was able to get the kids in and like get them seen and all that stuff. But like, it was a mess. I remember I was so stressed out. I think I lost like 10 pounds in like 2 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was like, it was an emotional roller coaster for both.
And you didn't have me in your life, so you didn't have the support system that you needed.
I know. I didn't have that laughter and joy.
Oh my gosh. How are you not traumatized? Or are you?
I think I am.
Yeah.
I think because now, like, as we have this conversation about like growing my own family and growing it with Roger, we question it. Like, do we want to? Do we want to go through that route again? Because, you know, at the end of the day, even despite what had happened for us and what we went through, I know that there are so many children that need loving families here in this world. Yeah. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. So there's a part of me that does not want to do surrogacy because of that. But then I'm also like, I have a taste of what the foster system looks like. I have a taste of what the system itself looks like.
Right.
And it is.
And you don't get to choose.
You don't. Mm-mm. You don't. It is so messed up. And I feel so bad for these children. Cause like, it just fucks them up. Like, I don't know how else to say it lightly. Like, that's exactly what it does. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
All right, episode over. We don't have kids.
Moral of the story. We're having no kids. No, but even now, so we're 32. Roger and I. I'm 32.
So am I.
Sure, Jan.
At the time we're recording this episode, I'm 32.
Bitch. He's a year older.
Bye. But by the time this episode comes out, you'll be 33, bitch.
They don't know that. Mm-hmm. I'm the editor of this podcast, so I'm gonna edit that shit out.
Okay.
But so we're 32 and 33, soon to be 33, all of us. But Roger and I, from the beginning, like after we went through that, we were like, let's wait till 35. Like, let's wait to have the conversation at 35. But there are days where I'm like, I want a child so bad.
Me too.
But like, I feel like I'm in heat. I'm like, I don't even fucking know why.
That's not what that is.
Oh, I don't know what that is then. What is it called? Baby fever.
He's like, I'm horny, so I want a kid. Like, what? What is that? No, I have baby
fever. That's what it's called.
I get really, really bad baby fever. Like, bad baby fever. Because
it comes and go, or?
I think when I was younger, I was like this, I have to have a family. Like, I want to have kids. And as I get older, it kind of fluctuates. Like, it's like up and down. Like, there are some times where I'm like, who am I? Like, who's going to take care of me when I'm older? But also, how fucking selfish of that is of me, of that to do that, right? To be like, I want to have these kids so they can take care of me
when I'm older.
Like, no, like
I want my dogs for that.
I want them to, I want them to be like. But for me, the way that I think about it too is that, like, I also love my freedom. I love my freedom. You and I, this week, I was like, hey, I'm going on this trip. And y'all were like, we bought the tickets.
Literally.
We can't do that if we have kids.
No.
We wouldn't have met if you kept them kids.
Right. I think about that actually quite often.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I'm like, what would have happened if we had the kids still?
You would hate your life because I wouldn't be in it. You wouldn't have this podcast.
I wouldn't.
Thank God for a shitty foster care system.
So the foster care system is actually really good.
Yeah, it's actually fantastic. It's not in Texas. It's not
no, it's
at all, and we need to do something about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think about that all the time. But I don't know. My partner talks about it as if like it's just hasn't happened yet. Like he talks
both.
He talks about it like as if it hasn't happened yet, and I'm like, buddy, we have to get some things in line before we have kids. Like,
sorry, I didn't mean to catch up. But I was gonna say, like, do you think it's because y'all? Like, I know he has a lot of siblings.
Yeah, he's the oldest of 6.
Yeah.
Do
you think that's why? Like, he wants it.
I think so. I think that's why. But I can already tell we have a very different style of parenting, and I think you have to. I think you have to.
Oh my gosh.
But we have a very different style of parenting that I think just will not mesh well. Like, you're not. Yeah.
You have to have like good cop, bad cop, or is that not what you're talking about?
I don't even know if that's what I'm talking about, but it's like you can have good cop, bad cop, but you can't say like I'm gonna help you like trick the bad cop in something. And I think that's the way that he was raised. That's what he describes his environment to. Oh, and like my parents were always like, you can come to me when you want something, but don't come to me after your mom has already said no. Don't put me in that position. And I gotta beat that out of him before he.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact I will be the pushover parent.
Oh my gosh, you're the pushover friend. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, we're gonna buy Beyonce tickets to this trip. You're coming with me.
No, we're not. Oh my gosh, I am. They don't know me yet. They don't know. I'm super cool though, y'all.
Yeah,
but yeah, no. Roger's definitely gonna be he's a hard parent right now with our fur babies. Like he's like yelling at them. I'm like,
which he's not the hard friend, which is hilarious.
Roger, yes, yeah. Wait, are you saying I'm the hard friend?
I don't know. I think we'll save that for another episode. Everybody has to have their role, but let's roll into Don't Piss Me Off because I'm excited to hear about what we have to say.
Yes.
But as you all know, hopefully if you're keeping up to this point, Don't Piss Me Off is the part of the episode where we talk about something relevant to the topic that pisses us off. So we say, don't piss me off. So do you want to go first?
Yeah, I will. Yes. So don't piss me off. However, I introduce my spouse or partner, my significant other, don't call them something other than that.
Oh.
Like, don't call them my friend if I'm like, this is my boyfriend. And then you come around and then like the next time I see you, you're like, how's your friend?
Oh.
No, he's my boyfriend. If I say my husband, I expect you to call him by his name or either say your husband. Like this is about family, but like even more so like overall.
This is like, for Gen Pop.
Yes.
Gen population can get this message.
Yes. Like if however I introduce him, use that. Across the board. Like I know a person who identifies as heterosexual and he introduced his significant other as his partner. And I was like, oh.
I hate when straight people do that. I hate it. It drives me crazy. Does it not drive you crazy?
Is that your don't piss me off for the straight?
No, for the straight.
For the straight episode.
But it doesn't piss you off. It pisses me off. I don't like when straight people say, that's my partner. I'm like, we can't have shit here.
Now they're coming for our shit.
Right.
I can see that, but I think because there's two people that have done it with me. One of them, I definitely felt that. This one individual, because they were a lot older and I was like, okay. But this other one, I think it's just because he's so inclusive and like open and everything. And like, I think that's why he does it. But
wants to be inclusive. For me, don't piss me off. It drives me crazy. So when kids get somewhere, like at a family event, don't make them hug everybody in the damn place. Like, I think that's so weird when you're like, go say hi to everybody.
And give them a hug.
Give them a hug, right? It's okay for them to say hi to them.
Right.
But don't force them to like give everybody a hug. That's weird. To me, that's weird. Like the one thing that you can teach your kids is about bodily autonomy. And if they don't want to hug someone, they shouldn't have to. If like there's a creepy uncle on the side or a creepy cousin, like they shouldn't have to hug them. Like that's weird. That's so true. even now, like when I see kids, I'm like, I don't make them like give me a hug. If their parents say that, I'm like, do you want a hug or oh my God, it's been so long, can I have a hug? And I'll give them a hug. But I think it's so weird when people are like, and I think it comes from like the whole, and it's really big in Latino culture of like respect your elders, which also drives me crazy. Blech. It drives me crazy because not everybody deserves respect.
Thank you.
And I think everybody deserves respect in the beginning, but if they're being openly disrespectful to you, you don't have to continue like. You don't have to continue having a conversation with them.
Right.
You don't have to continue allowing them to be in your space.
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with that energy. And I think that's what Latinos need to do better about is like, don't force your kids to be like, oh, that's your elder, so respect them. No.
Yeah.
No. Aunt Karen is a fucking bitch.
Not Karen. But yeah, that was actually going to be my don't piss me off. But I chose the other one because like that irks the living shit out of me.
Hell yeah.
You got to respect them because you got to respect your elders.
Yeah, it's always at the end, right? Like, it's always like, but she's your aunt, so you have to respect her. No,
I don't.
She talks too much shit. She needs to learn how to stop talking shit.
Right. Like, I'm an adult.
Right.
They're also an adult.
Right.
Like, no, we can respect each other.
Right.
But if they're not going to respect me,
it's also weird when, and I think some of my family members will do it because they know like that. That's their and they'll use it against you. I have family members that will use it against you. Like, oh, he talks back, so he's not respectful. No, you're disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
Stay away from me.
Oh my God, yes.
Stay away from me.
Like, I get the not talking back if they're being respectful. I don't even know like what defines like talking back.
No, they think like what you can tell them. They can tell you anything. No, you can't tell me anything.
No, that's not talking back.
You can't tell me anything.
No,
you can't.
Not. I'm gonna tell you exactly how you told me.
My kids are
if you don't feel good
my
about
kids
it,
are gonna call you fucking stupid because when you're being stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
They're gonna call Theo Jake.
Or
Jake.
Can you imagine they'll be the first people to call you Theo Jake?
Oh, you didn't even tell me. You didn't even tell me about like your kid. Like, do you want kids or like?
I did. We had a whole segment on that.
I know. No, I know. But like, there was like no definitive answer. Like,
oh, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair because that's how
I love the freedom. What are your kids gonna call me? Go for it.
Tío puto.
They're gonna call you tía pasiva.
No, I don't even know. They go, Theo Kendrick.
I don't know what my kids are gonna call you yet. They'll probably call you something different. I'm gonna make them call you like Uncle Jake, and then they'll call like Roger Theo Roger.
Bitch, I speak more Spanish than him.
Still, just like you look like an Uncle Jake.
White or what?
Yeah.
Well, that was a great. We can feel so great.
We can stop there. That was a good stopping point.
No, I was gonna say that was. Yeah, I was gonna say that was a great way to end the podcast, making me feel white.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode. Next week, we're getting a little spicy. We're talking all about attraction, what pulls us in, what we find attractive, and how it's never as simple as it seems. Here's a sneak peek. What part of a man do you think is most attractive?
Ooh, the first thing that came to my mind.
I know you like before it even happened. Oh, chesticles,
the little chest, your little muscles, the middies,
Yeah, no, me.
I love like when it's like defined and like they're just like. Oh.
Now that's just a glimpse of what's coming. But before you turn this off, make sure you like the video and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. We'll see you then.